it keys, we call it the P essence, large people, we call them cushy. We don't speak ill of the dead. We hope you won't be offended by the things that are said. Playing devil's advocate, and no one here to judge you. Express your true thoughts, you will learn how to love you. Everybody's listening, nobody's tripping. This life's too crazy, everybody's flipping. This life's so crazy. Run and tell your friends you on the right side. There's no need to pretend. This an open forum, never done before. This a future missing. This is a no cussing. You can learn something, no bugging, no extra charge. The switchboard be buzzing. We don't really care if you're right or you're wrong. Just tune into Miss KiKi with your retirement song.
Hey, Miss KiKi, it's time to play. It's time to play. Devil's advocate, you say. Hey, Miss KiKi, it's PDA. It's time to play. Devil's advocate.
I'll be going a little something like this. Hit it!
At some point, you will be offended by something said on this show, but Playing Devil's Advocate is meant to be a forum for open, honest, and more importantly, judgment-free dialogue. The opinions expressed here may not necessarily be those of the host or of the show in general, but we're willing to have the uncomfortable conversations so that we can heal and find solutions for our listeners and quite possibly even ourselves. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Playing Devil's Advocate. I am your host, Miss KiKi, the consummate provocateur, and I am so excited about tonight's show. I'm so excited. I put on makeup for y'all. So before we can do any of that, we've already done the disclaimer. I need to take care of some light housekeeping. I need to let you know that this broadcast is pre-taped, so you cannot call in. You can watch the stream. You can have some fun, but we know some of you guys are out about to get ready to go party and bring in the new year, and there's some of you guys who aren't, so we want to make sure that we still entertain those of you who are still at home. Again, you're always free to welcome to tweet us at PDA_Miss KiKi or to post our Facebook wall at facebook.com/Playing Devil's Advocate, but you cannot call in today. So we're just going to have some fun, and you get to be a part of it, get to be a fly on the wall. But before I can do any of that good stuff, I need to remind you to purchase a copy of my book, The Other Woman Code of Conduct, What Every Other Woman Should Know. And then, too, it's after Christmas. Maybe I'll give you a special if you just let me know. So you can either do it on iTunes. You can go to the iTunes store, or you can go to KikiRichardson.com and purchase yourself a copy. Just let me know that you heard it on Playing Devil's Advocate, and I'll give you a nice little discount. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. So without any further ado, let me bring on my crew. Yes, I rhymed that. Ladies and gentlemen, first up, she hails from my hometown. She is a fallen angel. And if you don't know why or how she fell from grace, I guess you haven't been listening to this show very long. So let me bring her in so she can prove to you why she coined phrases like lube is for amateurs and you better have your get out and fuck free card. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show Miss Sporty Spunky Angel. Hey girl, Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you too. How's it going?
It's going well. I'm so excited. Like I said, I was so excited. I put on makeup. And I put a little updo and everything for y'all to get a little fancy.
I know you looking already. Look, you ready to go out right now, huh?
Girl, please. You see I got my shiny shirt on. I'm ready to do it.
Okay. All right. Party over there.
Party over here. And before we can start the rest of this party, we need to bring in the invisible one herself. You know her as the incredible invisible intern. Sometimes you're here, sometimes you're not. But she happened to be here today. What a way to welcome her back from last time, because, it's the end of the year, so maybe we had to, pull little strings to get her to show up. So, ladies and gentlemen, show some love for, number 3, y'all know her as, but we know her as the intern who has the flyest intro music of everybody on the show. Show us some love, number 3. That is so unfair that your music is so...
Don't hate. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I got on my tribal outfit for the new year. See, it's got little tribal
Yo,
people on it.
you got little people on your clothes. So,
Little tribal
so you
people with the
carrying people.
drums.
You
Boom,
bringing
boom,
your
boom,
ancestors
boom.
into the new year with you.
That's right. Got to reach back to go forward.
Lord, Lord, Lord.
No worries whatsoever. All right, now, it's 2000. It's the end of 2014, and I don't think y'all really realize how excited I am that this is like the last show of 2014. Literally, like
Yeah,
literally, So it's like a lot of stuff is not going to happen after we finish. It's gonna be the new year, right?
it'll be over. We're gonna be starting fresh, kicking off the new year. It's exciting.
I am so excited. I have a couple things for those of you guys who just joined the stream. We are talking about 2014, a year in review. And you never know what we might talk about because it may be about something that happened on the show. It may be about something that happened in the news. We don't know. I don't know what number 3 has planned. I don't know what Sporty has planned to talk about. And anything can happen. They don't know what I'm going to bring up. So I think I'm going to not be the first person out the gate this time. I'm going to try
Okay.
something new. I'm going to stir the pot.
Uh-oh.
How about last man in, first man up? Number 3,
Yeah.
tell me something that you remember that you find most memorable about 2014.
Well, of course, if my past cohort was here, Mr. Sean Amin, our number one thing I believe would be, the legalization of marijuana. I think it was a very, very forward-thinking move for some states in the union. I'm waiting for all states, Georgia, to come into compliance. Um, it's been a long time coming. I mean, it's a product that can be used for many, many things, not just, the altering of the mind states, but I'm a very, very big advocate of it. I thought it was, a very good move for some states in the union. There have been a many states across the timeline of 2014 that have jumped into it. Colorado being, a January 1 this time last year. I mean, this time 2014 on the
Yeah.
first became the first one, and then Washington State and other states followed suit. But yeah, that was one of the most memorable things for me.
I think about that whole legalization of marijuana for recreational use in some of these states. I think was monumental. I think when we just had that last midterm election and they made it legal in our own capital city, of
Yes.
Washington D.C.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that in and of itself speaks volumes of where we're going and how the people have really spoken about what they want and how they view marijuana. What
Doctor,
you think about the legalization of marijuana?
my thing is, if you get a prescription for that, who the hell gonna fill it? You gonna go to the boy in the white T-shirt at the corner store, or do you know
No,
where you
no,
gonna get your
that's the
weed
point.
from?
That's the point when Georgia jumps in. I'll be the first one to have a boutique. But people open up your boutique, your dispensary. You can only you can only distribute to people who have the prescription card. It's basically the well for those who use it, who the states who have it for medicinal purposes only. The one for recreational use, of course, you can dispense to everybody, but people with the ones where medicinal purposes, it's only medicinal purposes. If you have the prescription card, you can get it, and you can get it from the pharmacy, same place you get your steroids and your pain pills. You can get
So
your
I could go to
marijuana.
Walgreens and get me a $5 bag of weed.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
not a five. Wait a minute, y'all
What the
laughed at me
fuck?
when I said a $5 bag. So wait a minute. So I don't think you gonna be able to get no $5. I remember y'all talked about me in 2014 for me saying that. When I was talking about a nickel
Yeah.
bag, y'all laughed at me talking about something. Ain't no such thing as a nickel bag, KiKi. Everybody had to laugh at my expense.
Well, it's not anymore, but hell, last time I talked about some weed, you could get a nickel bag, so that's
I mean, you could still get a nickel bag. You ain't getting much out of it, but you could still get one. But I doubt when you go to Walgreens, you probably get first of all, they'll probably be pre-rolled, which is not, you know, one of my
So wait,
preferences.
they gonna roll your weed?
Wait a
for you?
minute. Wait, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's sanitary, because like whose saliva is rolling your weed for you? Are
It's
they gonna have a
probably,
weed rolling machine?
yes, it's
Is it a
probably a
weed rolling machine
machine.
somewhere?
It's probably a machine, and it's probably water, not saliva. That's sticking to papers.
Just getting to be too
I don't
much.
know how
I'm
I feel
glad I
about
don't
that. They
get
probably use, you know what? They gonna mess it all up. I'm gonna tell you how they gonna mess it up. They gonna
Yes, they are.
use some type of adhesive that they can
Yes.
spray, and then it's gonna cause some kind of issues later on down the line. And then they're gonna be like, see, we told you marijuana wasn't good. It's like, it's not the marijuana, it's the shit y'all doing around the marijuana. I ain't
Exactly. I
falling
agree.
for that. I'm not falling for that. I think it's some trickerization going on. I'm just saying. That's me.
I'm glad I don't get high. I don't
I'm
have
just
to
saying.
deal with that shit. It's all good to me.
You get high for other stuff.
Look,
Yeah.
I get prescribed that medication. And
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, this is plain cranberry juice I'm drinking. You understand?
Uh-huh.
Did she say you understand?
Right. That's what I said.
Know what I'm saying? All right, know what I'm saying? It's your turn. Tell me one of the things that you found most memorable about 2014.
Well, one of the things I find most memorable about 2014 is we've had some pretty historic things happen. And one of those things that still has me baffled, along with America, that plane, the Malaysia Airlines flight that disappeared, that motherfucker still missing. You know, we don't know where that plane is. We don't know where those people are. And
Right.
Then right after that, another one was shot down. You know,
Right.
so that's 298 people just dead. You know, because it was shot down.
Just listen.
Nobody's responsible for this. I'm like, you got a plane full of folk missing. You got one shot out the air. You know, some is, as you would say, riding in the cotton around this here part.
That it definitely is.
It's not good. And you got too many movies coming out with this kind of stuff going on. They're getting their truth from somewhere. And that's just the way it is. So
Yeah, I'm a little I'm a little miffed about the fact that two planes just disappear, or nobody has no answers about one, the Malaysia plane. Like it disappeared. It was on the radar. It wasn't on the radar. We don't know where they are. We can't help you bury your people. We can't give you the response. We can't tell you who's responsible for it. We can't tell you anything about it other than we don't know what happened to it.
exactly.
Yes,
And then there's no more conversation.
We're assuming it crashed.
I think
Oh, yeah.
I think it was blown out the air or something too. And they're just not, you know, they only tell us what they want us to know. Don't even get me started on my theory of what it is. But
I'm trying to think. What was that? What else was going on at the time that they were trying to distract us with? Because I think it was a distraction tactic, to be quite honest with you. I think they were using that to distract us. But it was something
You
else
think
going
they
on.
made a whole plane disappear to distract us from something?
No, I'm not saying I think they made the plane disappear, but I'm saying that I'm not even quite sure that there was ever actually a plane. Because how do you lose an entire plane and you can't tell me where the wreckage is? You know what I'm saying? Nobody, not even just America, but nobody else can seem to find in their territory, in their land, where this plane went.
So all
They
these
keep saying they found.
families that are mourning these people they saw get on the plane, where did they see their family members go? I'm confused. I mean, I'm always down for a good conspiracy, but you got me confused. You're saying you don't think there was ever a plane. You took me to the airport, you saw me get on a plane.
No,
now I'm
you
missing.
don't
What
see.
happened?
I didn't see you. Don't nobody see you get on no plane. You can't see nobody get on no plane.
right,
You
because you
know, you
can't
can't
go
get
to the
the
gate
that's right.
anymore.
You can't go to the
That's
gate no more.
right.
Mhm.
You
Oh,
can't go
you
to the
got a
gate
point.
no more. You didn't.
But I
Just
do
saying.
think it was a distraction. But I mean, as far as it disappearing and not knowing, you know, you still have the big myth about the Bermuda Triangle and missing planes and boats and people and all of that stuff that's still going on. So, you know, what else
You
can you
still
do?
have the big what?
Bermuda Triangle, you know, where they have missing ships, ocean liners, planes, everything. There's all kinds of things. People missing.
Yeah. You can go there, but you never come back.
Exactly. And it is on that side of the world. So you never know what the cause may be, or what the reason was for. They could have taken that plane down due to certain people on board, and it was just casualties of war or whatever.
Yes, it could have
be
definitely
a
been a
whole
casualties of war.
It could
Yeah,
be a
it
whole lot.
definitely could. It could have definitely been a casualties of war. It was just those people were pawns in a game. I don't know. I don't trust none of these mofos these days. They liable to do anything,
Yeah.
anything. I can't. I don't trust them. I don't
And
trust
if
them.
they
Can't
blame
trust it.
Russia, right?
Can't trust it.
And if they blaming Russia for the second airliner that went down, who's to say it wasn't Russian influences or North Korea or whoever? It was from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. So, you're in the vicinity of where these
Right.
allies can, I mean, not allies, these enemies can cause a
Enemies.
problem.
Right. Well, we'll probably never know what happened to that plane.
Agreed.
But, we could mark the day that we videotape this and we put it on the internet, and maybe somebody in a time capsule in about 100 years will come back and pull it up and be like, "Ooh, they was on to something." Who knows? We don't know. But I can tell you what I remember about 2014. And
Right.
if I go to the beginning of the year, there are a couple of things that kind of happened right around, the Affordable Health Care Act went into play. It literally
Yeah.
became active January 1st of 2014. I mean, that was historic in and of itself. I think what sticks out to me about the first quarter of this year, though, was the fact that Donald Sterling, y'all remember that shit with Donald Sterling and his whole racist rant with his best friend, girlfriend, part side piece, whatever the hell she was, and how that went public, and he was banned for life and fined and had to sell the team, and just that was a big thing to remember, because this started a whole wave of stuff. You had the Atlanta Hawks owner, not owner, Danny Ferry, the player personnel. He got caught up in some drama. Actually, that happened before the Donald Sterling stuff. And actually, the Hawks owner did say something too. So it was just like everybody was coming out with and I just think it's just part and parcel of the fact that we have a black president. So people think that because we have a black president that racism does. What is wrong with me? Shan says I've been in bizarro worlds all week, but whatever. I think that because people think that we have a black president, that racism no longer exists, right? But I think the fact that we do have a black president brings out the fact that we have racism. You know what I mean? You could hide it when there was nobody that was the chief, officer, that one that the big man and the head nigga in charge, literally, right?
Right.
You could hide it. But now that there is he is the HNIC, there are a lot of people who don't want that to be.
True.
Yeah. That's true.
True. I mean, it's just. Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's just what?
Oh no, I was saying go ahead with what you were saying.
Oh, I was just gonna say, people make us having a black president such an excuse for a lot of things that's going on, things that were already put in motion before he even took office. You know what I'm saying? And it's just too much. It's too much tension. It's like everything is being dumped on his shoulders as if this didn't exist before he even came into the picture. And they didn't make this much stink about it when he was a senator or anybody else. They knew they were grooming this guy to be president. So, it's set up the way they want it to be.
Well, here's the thing. They were grooming him to run for president.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't think he was going to actually win.
Right.
That was the thing.
Yeah. Twice.
Twice in a landslide both times. They weren't anticipating that. That was never supposed to happen. They weren't prepared for the fact that he would actually win. They didn't plan on the fact that he was playing a more strategic plan of a game of chess than they were playing.
Right.
So Speaking of racism and all that other stuff, our producer just let me know that Sony executives, their emails were leaked and that they were laced with racial tirades about Obama and other black people in power. And do we know the names of these execs? Can you pull that up for me, Angel, so we can see who the names of these people are, so we can put them on our blast list?
It was on our list. It was on the news actually a little bit earlier today, because the big thing about the one who was with Angelina Jolie, she finally confronted her because she called her a spoiled actress with little talent in one of her emails that they were going back and forth. Let me see if we can pull it up real quick. See, because it was.
Well, since my producer. Wait, so this was the same. It was a lady.
It's a lady and a guy.
A lady
it's a lady and a guy. It's two of them. It's the two that they were talking together. Hold on, I'm pulling it up now.
And someone hacked Sony and leaked those emails.
Yeah.
I don't believe that somebody hacked. I'm gonna put it to you like this. I do not believe someone hacked Sony's emails. I do believe that there was a disgruntled assistant
that probably gave it away. I agree with that.
And I'll say this. I've worked for companies, and you know how you have your Outlook or whatever, where you can get your emails and stuff. And a lot of people don't realize, if they're not really savvy, they don't realize that if you go into your Outlook and you go to like your public folders, a lot of those emails are sitting right there.
Mm-hmm.
So they think they're private emails, but for as long as they're on that server, they're not private.
No, they're not.
So it very well could have been something like that. It says, let's see here.
Sonia Pascal and a producer, Scott Rudin.
Scott,
it was emails between them.
Oh, they were talking about Shonda Rhimes?
They were talking about Shonda Rhimes, President Obama,
Kevin Hart,
Chatham Tanning. And the list goes on.
Channing Tatum?
Yeah, Chatham. I said his name. I dyslexic changed his name around. Okay, but yeah, him. I tell you, this cranberry juice is so good. But
I need you to step away from the cranberry juice.
Girl, good Lord. Woo.
Put the cranberry juice down. Step away from the cranberry juice. Okay, so, but again, this is an opportunity. One, it's like there are so many people who are so, you're going to send an email on your work email disparaging people in this industry, and you think that somehow that email is not going to get out. I just think it's so stupid for people to think that if you're that shitty, if you're that much of an asshole that you would put this in writing and send it to someone else and go on and on and on back and forth, that somehow that behavior isn't just verbal. You meaning you write it down. You behaved in such a way to prove that is what you really feel. And there was probably some assistant, some copy boy, some mail clerk, somebody
that overheard
probably
this
the assistant. Probably the assistant, because the assistant has access to everything. The assistant is the gatekeeper. The assistant knows everything. Mm-hmm. So the assistant could have very well leaked this stuff. An assistant could have, and I don't doubt it. I know I would. I would. Would you?
Yep. You're like, oh, that's
and
how
she
you
should
feel?
be fired.
Yeah, I was seeing
she absolutely should be fired.
Because that's way too far.
And she should be fired because not only. Well, here's the thing. You're right. It's personal. That you should not have. You cannot carry on those types of conversations in a business environment anyway. Just period. Point blank. It creates a hostile work environment. Blah 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 blah. All that stuff we were talking about, harassment and all that last week. This is what this creates. It's what perpetuates that. For one.
Yes.
Second of all, you're damaging the brand. You're talking about people who make Sony lots and lots of money.
That's going in your pocket.
Right. So if you piss off the fan base of those people, guess what? Yep. You're sending Sony to the poorhouse. And the problem is while you ranting and raving about these other people, those other people still going to be getting paid. Why ain't nobody going to want to fuck with you? Because you are
Yep.
liability. Because you don't know how to keep your trap shut and you're reckless.
Yeah, it's not okay. It's not okay at all. You are so correct. You are so correct.
Um, there was that happened in 2014. I was so correct.
Right,
Yay,
that was last
I remember that.
week.
Yay! I was
Yes,
right in 2014.
you are
Woohoo!
smart. Well, while we're discussing famous people and superstars and stuff like that, our own superstar had a movie premiere that he starred in 2014,
Yes.
and I was very excited. I got to tag along and hang out with him during his movie premiere.
Well, you have to
And
say his name so everybody
oh
know who
yes,
you're talking about and
Kyle
what
Surratt,
movie.
our awesome tree, and his movie was 72 Hours.
What is his name?
I just said it. You didn't hear me?
I heard you say Tree. What's
I
his
said his
name?
name first. I said
Oh,
Simone Kyle Durrett first, also known as our tree, and he was fabulous in this movie. I can't wait till it's out nationwide. He did a great job, and I accompanied him to the movie premiere both nights, and they received him really well. He picked up a few stalker fans, and it was
and you
interesting.
picked up a few haters.
I picked up a bunch of haters. It was just ridiculous, because
They
I
were
was
mad as 40, honey. Them
I
people
didn't
was
even want
mad.
to
She called me
go.
from. I don't think people understand that you actually called me from this joint talking about something. You know what? I need to be behind the scenes. I don't need to be in the middle of all of this because these
Right.
broads are mean. They're mean girls. I was like,
They were
really?
evil. It was like, can I sit there, or why are they the only two that can sit in that section? I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'll go sit in the back. He was like, you're gonna sit right here and you're gonna watch this movie. I'm like, okay. So you can't tell somebody who's 6 foot giant that you ain't gonna do something, and they look down at you like, yes you are. I'm like, okay. And I mean, but they were evil, KiKi. I understand now how you feel when people for no reason, just give you the look like they gonna kick your ass, and I'm
It don't bother me. I could tell you about an instance, and see, it's something that I could tell you about something that happened, and she probably get mad at me. But I don't give a shit because I've been in Bizarro world getting on her nerves all week. So why not just
girl.
pile it on? We were out. I don't know if you guys saw the picture that we posted on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook. One night we had gone out with Tim and Kyle Durrett, that y'all know, Tree. We
Hmm.
had gone out with him, and we went out with Brett, and we went to
Okay.
go hang out with our Chicago peeps, right? And while we're sitting there, and the way we were sitting girl, boy, boy, girl, right? So
Hmm.
Shannon and I were the bookends, and we had the guys in the middle. We're
Okay.
such boys. We're such boys because they should have been on
On
the
the
outside of
end,
me.
y'all should have been in the middle, right? I tell you, that's why y'all my
I
dudes,
just thought about that.
man. Y'all are my
Right.
dudes.
I just realized we did that, but whatever, right? And so at one point during the evening, there was this girl that was sitting behind me. Now her friend kept bumping my seat, scooting, and then so finally I just was like, I looked around like, if this broad don't stop kicking, bumping my seat,
Hmm.
and then while I'm texting, you know, in game, like, yo, this broad keep, messing with my bumping my chair. She was like, yeah, and her friend is about to make me catch a case because she is straight. I fucking this dude. Like, I'm not sitting right here. She don't know if we together. She don't know if we not together. She don't know nothing. Listen,
Wow.
I was like, fuck her. We all came in the car together. We all leave together. She gonna still be sitting here.
That's
So I was
it.
like, just breathe. She was like, I'm not used to this shit. I'm not used to this shit. You used to this shit. You used to being around celebrities and them doing people acting all crazy. And she used to being around celebrities, but she'll be in the background. But I've been
Right.
forcing
See,
her.
that's the thing. That's the
I'm
thing.
used.
See,
I'm
you in the limelight, you take the pictures with. I'm used to being around them too, but it's like before and after the action stuff. Let me get on out the way. He's like, come on,
you
take this picture. I'm like, these people don't know me. They here to see your ass, not me.
you used to being the one taking the picture, not the one being in the picture.
Yeah,
Like, here, can you take our picture?
Mhm.
Well, yeah, that's how Chan is used to. She used to being the one to take the picture or hold the person, but I've been forcing her to come out, and so she's
Girl,
like, this is why I stay at home and play my damn video games. You
I
gonna
feel
get me
her.
caught up. You gonna get me. You gonna get me a case caught. But yeah, so 2014 going into 2015, 72 hours with Tim and Kyle Durrett, our own He used to be a co-host on the show. He comes back and shows up every now and again. So if you get a chance to check it out, check it out. It's got Harry Lennox Jr. in it. It's got
Yeah.
my girl Brayley Evans, and she's gonna be visiting the show in 2015. So
Oh, good.
yeah, and then who else is on that show? What's her name? She played Levita. I can't never remember her name.
I don't remember.
Why can't I remember her name?
Levita Alizé Jenkins.
Yeah. What is her name right now? Terry.
I can't remember
Terry
her
J.
name.
Vaughn. Terry J. Vaughn. Oh God, that's her name. Terry J. Vaughn. There's a lot of people in this film, so if you get a chance to go check it out, go check it out. Support our people. Christopher Nolan. He's from Chicago, so y'all make sure y'all support our
Yeah.
people. Number three.
Yes, that's me.
Before you tell us what you remember for about 2014, and I think you getting smaller and smaller because I think you've been drinking the drink of the week. Because at first you was like middle screen, now it's like lower and lower and lower. You gonna disappear out the frame in a minute. You step away from the drink. Since this is the time of the show where we normally do the drink of the week, our producer made us do something special for you guys. We came up with our favorite drinks of 2014, and she's gonna give you her own version of the drink of the week for 2014. I don't know what it is. She told me to mind my business. She said, yours, mind your business. So I'm gonna go ahead and let her take it away, and then we gonna talk trash about it afterwards. All right?
Okay.
So, Cousin Chad, take it away.
Hey everybody, tonight we're going to end 2014 with a top 5. And this top 5 was chosen by both us, the staff, as well as you, the listeners, and the viewers. And tonight's top 5 goes as follows. Number 5, we have Code 1051. That was a pretty good one. I did like that one myself. Number 4 is Skinny Pants. Number 3 will be the Spanish Coffee. Number 2 will be La Amor. Before we get to number 1, I have 2 honorable mentions. One is going to be Mofo Juice, and in honor of our past co-host would be Pimp Juice. Pimp Juice came up by him, and you guys loved it. So there you have it. And number 1 is The Exception. Alright guys, there you have it, the top 5 for 2014. Alright, remember guys, you can find all of these recipes for this top 5 on our Playing Devil's Advocate site on WordPress. That's Playing Devil's Advocate with an 8, and you can go there and you can make these drinks and give me your feedback. Alright guys, enjoy, be safe, drink responsibly, and I'll see you in 2015.
I ain't even gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna even say nothing.
All I can say is I'll drink to that. Happy New Year chill. Mm-hmm. Now that we've sipped on that.
Girl, I'm with Andreas when he talk about her and the daggone Everclear and how she always got Everclear and rubbing alcohol and ethanol in the drinks of the week. I don't understand, but
how about saying nice top 5?
I just tell y'all about it.
How about saying nice top 5, Jan? How about saying that? How about saying nice, good job for 2014? How about saying that instead of always trying to down me? How about saying that sometimes?
Nice top 5, Chan. I enjoyed all your drinks because I make them as you say them, and they keep my head happy, and it keeps me smiling and full of poetry. Yes, good job.
Thank you, Sporty.
Good job, Chan. Great top 5.
Bizarro.
You've made such wonderful drinks throughout the year. Thank you so much.
Asshole.
Appreciate you.
Make a drink called Apple.
And what you gonna do? Play it on my drink? You gonna make that drink for my birthday?
Dedicated to the host.
Right, you gonna either name it Asshole or Bizarro. Which one is it? Okay, so let me let y'all in on a little thing. And I might tweet about this tomorrow, but is it just would do with 2014, but this is just why she's calling me Bizarro. And y'all know we don't have no secrets. We family, right?
Right.
Is it just me that when I need to have a tune-up, sometimes I get a little off my square, so I become a little blonde?
Yes, that's true.
Now, I
That's
mean, is
anybody.
it true about you? Okay.
Oh
So,
yeah.
That's anybody.
so
I mean,
somebody, maybe I'll get some New Year's nookie, and it'll take me out of Bizarro world.
Well, let us pray. We gonna send.
Hashtag New Year nookie.
Let me create a prayer poem for you. Roses are
Uh-oh.
red and violets are blue. Lord, please send some nookie for KiKi so that we won't be blue too. Okay.
Hashtag New Year nookie.
New Year nookie.
That's all
I
I'm
like
saying. All right. Number 3, it's your turn.
To do what? Oh, okay.
What we been doing all day?
Stay away from
Away
your
from that
drink
drink.
too.
Push away from your drink immediately.
Oh my God, that was too funny.
2014. Other notable moments. Well, you took my Donald Sterling thing, but how about the NFL and their problems with not just the NFL, sports period, the problem with the players beating their wives, beating their children, getting into car accidents, drinking and driving. Was it 2014 when he shot himself? No, that wasn't 2014. But there was a whole lot of stuff going on with the athletes in 2014. What's going on?
Well, I think what happens is that you give a bunch of kids a whole bunch of money and no accountability. What you expect gonna happen?
Yeah.
This is true. Now, Ray Rice, he got his job back, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the other guy.
Well,
is still on.
no, yes and no. Yes and no. He can play again, but he doesn't belong to a team, so he's technically a free agent. So he doesn't have a job right now. But he's free to move about. Yes, he's free to move about and get a contract and play with someone if they're willing to take.
He can
on
unfasten his seatbelt and move about the cabin. Okay.
Yes.
But
they denied Adrian Peterson's. But here's the funny thing. As of last week, the week before last, they denied his appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And all along, he was saying that someone from the NFL told him that he would only be suspended for 2 games and that he wouldn't miss his money, blah, 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 blah. And so they denied his claim. So last week, the tape leaked. The tape with him talking to Troy Smith, the vice president. I forgot his title, but he's a former player who is an executive with the NFL, actually had the conversation with him, and based on the conversation, it appears that he did tell Adrian that would be the case. So Adrian is going to federal court. He's going to federal court. Yeah, I think he should too. If somebody told you, but the interesting thing about the conversation was, it was like, can I trust you? Yeah, you can trust me. Like, anytime somebody say, can I trust you? One, you know it's some fuckery and they can't be trusted. And 2, if they say, yeah, you can trust me, you know you can't trust them because this leaked. I'm like, of all the ding-dang mafia movies that they have invented in the world for people to watch,
exactly.
When are they going to learn? If you about to do some slick, underhanded, shady, under rule book shit, you don't do it on the phone.
Exactly. You don't need to do
when y'all learn that? Did anybody ever learn that? I'm like, come on, people.
No recorded conversation.
Mafia 101, huh, KiKi? You don't do it on the phone.
Yes, that's yes.
You can barely do it in person for fear of being videotaped. So ain't shit sacred no more. Nothing.
Right, because cell phones and everything, people tend to turn their little memos thing on and do all that kind of stuff. With all this covert. But here's the thing, though. It's just I think that it's hypocritical. I think that if you cannot you cannot punish somebody twice.
Right. But you know what I found out today? Today I was
Today?
today, Kiki. Today I was reading.
It wasn't today.
Oh no, this happened. Well, it didn't happen today, but it was on the news today. This guy videotaped a police officer beating the shit out of a guy. They was trying to get his drugs out of his mouth, and he was punching him so hard that his head was hitting the concrete. He busted his head and everything. And then the girlfriend walked over to tell him, "Stop! You're hurting him." And she was 7 months pregnant. Oh yeah. Okay.
Is this the NFL story?
No. She was seven.
Okay,
This
so
is about the videotaping stuff.
Wait. Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I don't understand how we went
No,
from that to this.
I'm sorry, because you said videotaping and it popped in my head. She was 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
They pushed her to the ground and made her fall on her baby. And the guy who was taping it, they took his iPad from him and deleted the video. But the video downloaded to the guy's cloud and it came back up. Yep.
Absolutely. Duh.
I'm like, oh my. So nothing really is sacred. Even if you try to delete the shit, you still got somewhere to go for it and look at it.
Yes, it's on the cloud.
It's in the cloud.
Yes. It's in the cloud.
Dumb. Look, that's destroying evidence 101. They need to go. You know what? They need to take KiKi's class on how not to get caught with stupid shit. I done started it with the book, the other one with home conduct. Right,
I think you need to write one for the sports players. I think you need to write one specifically for the NFL.
Yes.
I think you need to be a coach for the NFL, and I mean a life coach for the NFL, for the coaches and the team players. I think they need you in that arena because they don't have coaches in there. They clearly don't.
It needs to start at the college level because those idiots are making mistakes as well before they even get to the NFL. Wasn't it a college player?
Right.
They got caught stealing that stuff, and Kevin Hart told them to stop doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's a whole bunch of them. See, here's what happens, and I've talked about this before at length, so I won't bore you guys because we have a whole lot of other stuff we need to go down on 2014. But there's people. These kids start with Pop Warner, then they go and they go into grammar school and they play in these other leagues, and then they go into high school and they get groomed to go to these D1 colleges. Then they go into these D1 programs, and then they're being coddled and covered and taken care of and covered up when they mess up, their mess is cleaned up for them. Mm-hmm. And then what you've done is that you've created an environment of non-accountability, and then you cut the apron strings, send them out into the league, which is the real world with the big boys, and they're not prepared.
Right,
and so
at all.
Now, like I said, what do you expect when you give a bunch of kids a whole bunch of money and no accountability? No sense of accountability. What do you expect is going to happen? You're setting them up to fail. You're setting them up to fail.
Chaos.
So, enough about that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, since you were talking about sports and you were talking about videotaping and you talking about all of that, Michael Sam, the very first openly gay player drafted into the NFL in April when they had the NFL draft, and it's by October 21st he was no longer in the league. He's a free agent. Mm-hmm. Isn't that amazing that a man who had won all kind of accolades for being defensive player of the year, co-MVP for this and that, and won all these shitload of awards, that when he gets in the NFL, he no longer can play. But I will say they kind of set him up to fail because, he's like 6'2" and 200 and some pounds, and they say he's a little too small to play defensive end. So they moved him to linebacker, and apparently he didn't fare so well playing linebacker. If you've played defensive end your entire life, and now you tell me I have this amount of time to get up to speed playing this position over here that I've never fucking played, what do you expect? They set him up to fail.
Exactly.
And it was funny to me. I know it's horrible, but it was funny to me that, it was sad, one, that you dropped from being a first round pick saying that you are gay, and then you drop all the way to the 7th round. Mm-hmm. That's sad. But what was funny is that you got drafted by the Rams. A gay man got drafted by the Rams.
KiKi.
There's so many
I'm
different
sorry.
ways we can go with that.
I'm sorry, but that was just classic. I was like, really? And then he got once he got released from the Rams, he went over to the Cowgirls.
Rammed by the Cowgirls. I get it.
I mean, you went from the Rams to the Cowgirls. It's like, come on. It's the comedian playground right there. So, but anyway, Oprah did the special on the movie, the little mini movie on him. At first when he first got drafted, they were going to do a reality show, but he wasn't doing so well. So they scrapped it, they shelved it, but they still kept the footage, and from that footage, they did the film that aired on the 27th on OWN for that. So I thought it was interesting that. And then the kiss heard around the world when he open mouth kissed and the cake in the face with his little boyfriend.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I remember that. Everybody else.
Y'all know how I feel about public displays of affection. Right. Y'all know how I feel about public displays of affection. Y'all talked about me 2 weeks ago, talking about how I was mean old dragon when it comes to public displays of affection. So, my whole thing is.
But we agree with you.
That was too much. That was too much.
We agree with you we agree with you on the part that there's a time and a place for everything. Maybe not as strict as you are with public displays of affection, because the old people holding hands. Come on now, KiKi. There was old people holding hands. But there's a time and a place for everything. And his kiss.
Hold your hands working out.
Ill time. I don't care if they was hey. They was 102.
Listen,
I don't know why you
believe her when she said they're 102, but that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day.
But they love each other. You don't find nothing cute about that.
I'm just saying I didn't understand it. I'm not saying that there was anything wrong with it. I'm just saying the same thing I said 2 weeks ago, the same thing I said when it happened. I don't understand it. Now, Michael Sam and his little boyfriend open mouth kissing and all that carrying on, I don't understand why you deem the need to do all of that on national television. If you're not in a movie and they saying action and cut, I don't need to see that shit.
Right.
And like I said, it's not a gay thing, or a straight thing. I don't like to see it. Clearly, y'all know I don't like to see it. So y'all know I'm not being homophobic. I just don't like it. I think it's inappropriate.
Shaking my head at you, just like this.
I can't even see your head, and I'm glad.
Because
I'm sure I would disapprove of whatever it is that you're doing to me. I'm sure I don't appreciate. You know what else was really memorable for me for 2014?
Do tell, great one. Do tell.
It's really personal to me.
Uh-oh.
It's not about any other, person or thing or anything like that. But what I remember about 2014 being monumental was we had our 5-year anniversary doing this show.
Yes, we did.
Oh, yes,
we did.
Yay,
5
PDA.
years.
Yay for us. Applause.
5 years of playing devil's advocate. And that is, either we good at what we do or we just damn pain freaks and we can't.
I will tell you we are not pain freaks because at least two of us on this staff broadcast under the influence constantly. So it ain't about the pain.
You don't feel no pain? Yeah,
no
but
pain.
Yeah, it's like 5 years, dude.
I think it's because you're good at what you do. People like you. People trust.
Not me. It's us. We've been doing this.
Well, yes, it is a team, and we do work together. But I still say, you're our support system when it comes to making sure we hold this thing together. I know we tease you and call you little Hitler and all other kind of stuff, and all that stuff is true. But if you weren't a tyrant, we wouldn't be under the gun like we are. And Chan, she's her own version of a Hitler as well. Because if it's some production shit that ain't in order, she is gonna, she'll jump out on us, Like,
Okay.
get shit together or get fired, So it's like.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand the insultment that just went on.
Yes,
and then you
it
like
was.
slammed a whole bunch of people. You
Yes.
threw the Japanese under the bus. You threw the Tango Germans under the bus. You threw
All
everybody
of
under the
them,
bus
all
with
of
that.
them. Everybody, just all of them
Oh,
under the
jeez.
bus. Look,
And we still managed to be here for. We still managed to be here for 5 years, and you constantly, and our Archie Bunker behind the controls over there, Cousin Chan, we still here after 5 years. So that was something that was really monumental to me. It was something that was really special to me. I felt really good. That made me really happy, and I thank you guys
proud of yourself.
I thank you guys.
You're welcome.
No, I just thank you guys for putting up with me, because I know I could be something to deal with, more than a notion.
Let me tell you something. Anybody who has a baby takes care of that baby. And when that baby ain't right, you make sure that it is right. This is your baby. So you make sure that the baby is in order at all times. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the way I look at it. So,
Okay.
I have my moments, I can hang up on you with my finger as hard as my finger can press, and I'll be okay.
Okay, and that is something else that is memorable for 2014, ladies and gentlemen. Sporty fucking Angel called herself being insubordinate in a production meeting, and she was being told something she didn't want to hear. And so she called herself hanging up on us on her cell phone. And we know it's not 1979, and when you hang up on people, you can't hear them clang up, clang, clang, and hear the little ring after it. She actually was like,
yes.
like we actually heard that, and we didn't even know her ass wasn't even on the phone no more. But she thought she had done something really big by hanging up on us, and we didn't even know because it was a soft hang. It was a soft hang up.
Yeah. Bring back the rotary phones with the lock, please.
Because we were like, is she still there? Oh, she hung up.
right. Like, oh damn, she hung up. She ain't here no more. Okay, anyway, that's what we did too. We was like, okay, anyway, well, I'll deal with that later. So it was really funny. So yeah, I think all of our production meetings, I promise to goodness, if anybody ever compiled all the video and audio from our production meetings and used that footage and that audio, there have been some really really thought-provoking moments that have happened there. There have been moments when we fought. There have been moments where we were really supportive of one another, where we vented. It's just been a wild ride, and thank y'all. So
you are welcome.
That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
Because I ain't
People
gonna get
don't
mushy
understand. Most of these shows come from our real life experiences. They have no idea. Because I'll be quick to say, look, this happened. We need to talk about it.
Right, all right. They're gonna learn that this is our life. I mean, yeah, we do the show for everybody else, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's therapy for us in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I'll say.
I'll never forget
So,
my kitchen flooding and having to do the show right after coming home to my house being flooded, and my kitchen needed to be remodeled from floor to ceiling because the sewer backed up, and they wanted to play with me and take their time. Girl, talk about upset.
That was horrible. And we put them on blast. Didn't we put the city of Chicago on blast that day on the show?
We did.
Yeah.
And what I didn't tell you, probably 3 weeks ago, they called. Did you make a complaint? Is it fixed? I was like, are y'all serious? You calling me now? Months later, I hung up on them. Now, I hung up on with the hard finger again.
You could have been dead from mold, from the spores of mold fooling with them.
It was ridiculous.
It's just, I don't understand these people. I
have a new kitchen, and I'm happy, so.
Yeah, you got that pink coffee maker that I want.
Yes. Oh, trust me, you'll get one. Don't worry. It's really cute. Fix your face. It's going to be fine.
Okay. Number 3. Look, I showed all my teeth.
It's back to me again.
Yes, it's back to you again.
Me again?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, you again.
What was really notable to me in 2014 were some of the people that we lost. We lost some really good celebrities, really important people. I like entertainment, so we lost some really heavy hitters in 2014 in some tragic ways. One of the most memorable, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
You know, we lost him to suicide. We lost Maya Angelou, Ruby Dee, Shirley Temple. Even though she lived a nice long life, we just lost a lot of people in 2014, as we do every year. But it was some notable ones this year.
Yeah, we lost Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers, yeah.
Yeah, I did,
Thor.
and it's so funny that last Mistress Monday for the book, I did one of her quotes for Mistress Monday. It was like, "Man can sleep around, all they want, but a woman makes 19, 20 mistakes and she's considered a tramp."
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I love the fact that she just said whatever the hell she wanted to say. I mean, I do it now in 2014 in the new millennium, and we catch heat. But imagine at the time when she was doing it. First of all, she was a woman, and then just being that vocal and that fearless to just kind of say, "I don't give a shit."
Right.
There were people who were the butt of her jokes when they had issues with it. She was like, "So, and it's a joke. Fuck you if you can't take a joke." You know what I mean? I just, she had some balls on her. You know what I mean? So she had some chutzpah. So, but she lived a nice long life too, and I think she could have lived longer if why the hell her 900-year-old ass was getting damn elective surgery yet again?
Girl, oh my God. I think she had more plastic than skin.
Let me drink my tea, because that ain't none of my business.
Right.
Oh, sip on. But
we don't we don't speak ill of the dead.
This is true.
No.
Well, I was gonna say, when the number 3, when you mentioned, Robin Williams, that's a hidden thing, and maybe we can have a show about it. Is he was depressed, and that was really hidden, and there are so many people, famous and otherwise, that suffer from depression, and people just don't know about it. And I think that's something we should discuss, coming up in 2015. That people can get help from it, and it's not anything to be ashamed of. So.
Yeah, I mean, and he knew that he was having issues, which is why he checked himself in voluntarily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me? Yeah, I mean, he knew that there
you.
was something going on with him. He went and checked himself in voluntarily. So, and I do agree with you. We can have a conversation about depression. We can have a conversation about mental illness. I think it's important that there's no need to have this veil of secrecy. There's no need to be shameful about it. It's okay to ask for help. I think that the best thing that we talk about here on Playing Devil's Advocate all the time is having the uncomfortable conversations. And why? So that we can heal and find solutions. If you don't talk about that thing that makes you uncomfortable, then how do you expect to move past it? So, I mean, it's okay. We all have our moments. I mean, everybody thinks that KiKi is excited and happy all the time, and everything is always happy, happy, joy, joy, and I handle mine in my own way. No, I don't go on Facebook and post it. I don't tweet it. I don't do whatever, Sometimes I reach out to people, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I internalize it. But at the end of the day, it's something we can all relate to. I abhor suicide. However, I would rather be of service to someone so that they don't feel like that's their only resort, than to just be like, "I hate it, that's stupid, you sell it, blah, blah, blah." When you know what I mean? When you can be of service to them in some way. So absolutely, we could do a show about that. Somebody else that we lost too, Mickey Rooney died in 2014.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ruffin died in 2014.
Yeah. The other actor who played
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yeah, that's another one, not just depression. We lost him to addiction, didn't we?
Yeah, he overdosed. Yeah.
I
just want to know how high was he trying to get? I know this. We don't speak ill of the dead, but I just want to know how fucking high was he trying to get? He had prescription drugs. He had heroin. He had all kind of shit in his system. It was like, how high were you trying to be? Where were you trying to go?
I guess to
You know
heaven.
what I mean?
Masking the pain.
Yeah.
Shit.
And you know
Yeah,
who
I
else
don't.
we
Yeah.
lost that really broke my own heart personally was Paul Walker.
Oh
Was
yeah.
that in 2014? I thought that was 2013.
I thought it was this year he passed away.
That was earlier this year when they were
That was
in.
early this
No,
year.
maybe not.
No, I think that was 2013.
Yeah, that was
Was
late
it?
2013, I think.
Okay, well I thought it was early 14. I still miss him.
That was a waste. Don't you hate that when good young ones go
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was tragic
because he was
and when
on
they
my
go
bucket
like
list.
that?
because that was a car accident.
You
Yeah.
said he was on your bucket list?
Yes, Lord.
I ain't even gonna say that. I look. Instead of drinking my tea, I'm gonna powder my nose. No, I'm just kidding. Like, I ain't even. Nope, that's a setup. You set me up, and I'm not going for it.
Wait, but you know what? It's funny that Sporty says that because the day he died, me and my daughter was having a conversation, and it sounded like when she had said something to me, and you guys know I can't hear stuff, and then when I don't hear it, I kind of rearrange it in my head into something else. But however, it sounded like to me she said that she could do Paul Walker. And I said, yeah, I could do him too.
He
And
could
she
get
was
it.
like, Mommy,
You said he
what
could
are you
get it.
talking about? I didn't say anything like that. And I was like, well, it sounded like something about doing Paul Walker. And I swear, not an hour later, they announced on the news that he had just passed away.
No, I came upstairs and
Wow.
told you. I came upstairs and was like, Chan, you were downstairs. I came downstairs and said,
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm gonna
right.
need for you to, I was like, I'm gonna need for you to use your goddamn powers for good. And you were like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, bitch, Paul Walker is dead. And you were like, what? I was like, you mean literally. And because I was sitting in the kitchen when the conversation took place, because she was like, ew, mama, you can't say stuff like that. She was like, oh, well, I thought, but yeah, that was, okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Oh, rest his soul.
Yeah, but that was late
He was,
2013. That was right
Okay.
before Thanksgiving. That's the only reason why I remember it.
Okay.
yeah.
Very well.
He was on Sporty's fucking bucket list.
Yes.
Maybe we should do a
Fucking
show about
bucket.
that. Can we do a show about our fucking bucket list?
Yes.
Of course.
I'm all for it.
Is that okay, producer? If we did that show, it would be okay. I think it would be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
do we have 2
What
hours
is
of
that?
fucking bucket?
Oh,
I do.
I know I
Shit,
do.
I got time. I got 2 hours to fuck it. I got 2 hours to have a fucking bucket list.
Okay.
Something else since 2014 that is memorable is that in August, this comedian Hannibal Buress or whatever his name is, had his little show and said all this shit about Bill Cosby being a rapist and blah 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 blah. And as a result of him saying that Bill Cosby was a rapist, 20 bitches that came out of the woodwork like, he did me, he drugged me, it happened to me, it happened to me, it happened to me.
Yes.
I'm like, he's been a serial rapist in Hollywood for a series of decades and nobody knew anything and nobody did anything?
Said anything? Come on now.
It
Not
just seems a little
everybody got
bizarre to me
something
that
to say.
everybody, because I saw just like the other day, what was that, Beverly Johnson?
Yes.
She was
Lord.
on the
Beverly
show. She was
Johnson,
on
yes.
the Cosby Show, and she says that he assaulted her as well.
Yeah,
I just
last
think
week.
it's just
Last week she was on The View, and her and Whoopi Goldberg got into it about what she had to say about it. So, and the way she was questioning her, it seemed like she unnerved her and got to some hard points for her, because she was like, well, I don't know, and I'm not sure. It made her story begin to sound a little shaky from what she was saying during that interview that they had on The View.
here's my problem with all of this. It's kind of, and I know this is going to sound bad, and I know that there'll be a lot of people who are advocates for victims are going to have a problem with this conversation and what I'm about to say. But what I'm about to say is, if you're snorting cocaine or doing some other illicit drug on a regular basis and you don't know what's going on, if you don't have a fresh recollection, because I can tell you this, people who have been sexually assaulted, they don't forget that shit.
Mm-mm.
And even people who have been drugged in the point where they have like date rape or whatever, and they got the RH, the BHB and put it, you know what I'm talking about, roofies and all of that, put in their drink.
We get it.
They have moments of lucidity where they remember things.
Certain parts.
And my thing, but we do know that there are a lot of times when people hear things, it's kind of like eyewitness testimony. It's one of those things where it's kind of unreliable when you've heard somebody else's story, because now you start to add elements of their story into your story.
Right.
And so I think that a lot of these people, there were drugs involved, because let's use Janice Dickinson. I don't believe shit she say. Even I barely believe her goddamn name is Janice Dickinson. How about that? Okay, that's how much I don't believe nothing she said.
Agreed.
But let's just say, for instance, using her story. Let's use her story for example. She says that she had just gotten out of rehab, and so she went to his show, and she had cramps really bad, and she was up in his room. She asked him to give her something for her cramps. First of all, how close are y'all that you gonna ask a dude to give you something for your cramps? That's the first thing that sounds
right.
Then you just got out of rehab and you gonna ask somebody to give you something?
Mm-hmm.
You just got out of rehab, bitch.
That ain't right.
Okay, and then you say there's one part where you remember him in this checkered robe on top of you. But then you wake up, because you chased some pills that he gave you with some wine. He drugged you.
Oh, that's wrong.
You asked for the pill. You asked for the pill. You chased it with alcohol, fresh out of rehab, and you want to say he drugged you. You drugged yourself. It's like you drugged yourself. He didn't put the pills down your throat. He didn't
That's
do
like
any of that shit.
Coming to you saying, "Can I get an aspirin?" And I go in your medicine cabinet and take it. KiKi drugged me. What kind of bullshit is that? That's stupid. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Or how about this? Even in her book, she didn't even say that in her book. She said that she went on this whole little rampage about how he was an asshole and he would try to treat her, play her close, throw shade on her because she was trying to get on the show. She was trying to get that part, I think, that Miss Westlake part.
Okay, gotcha.
On the show. So she was upset. So you didn't make mention of none of this. The whole evening in your book is very different from the story that you're telling now. So your credibility is shot with me. Then there's this other chick who says that she went on a date with him. And she went on a date with him. He drugged her. He took advantage of her in the hotel room. She went home and told her she didn't tell nobody about it, but her parents were so excited that she met Bill Cosby because they were big fans of his, and he asked her out again. And her parents were like, "Do it, go, yeah, blah blah," but they don't know that he raped her. And you go again?
Is this the underage chick that he took to the Playboy
17?
mansion? The
yeah,
Playboy?
17-year-old. Yeah. So you then go out on a date with him again, and he does it again? Now, I give you the first time he took advantage. Maybe that's possible. I do. That can happen. But you voluntarily went on the second date, went up to his hotel room, and he did it again, huh? Is that really right?
That's some bullshit.
Because your parents were so excited? Come on now.
Yeah, and she said the reason why she's saying something now is because her parents are in their 90s and they're in homes and they won't know anything about this.
What?
Baby, bye.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you kidding me? Okay.
So now her parents are senile?
I don't care how high regard my mama or my daddy hold somebody if, they were impressed that I met him and, oh, he can, lead to this and this and that in my
Right.
career. If he violated me when I get home, I'm shattering everybody's bubble. This motherfucker ain't,
How about
not to,
I'll be like, Mama and Dad meet me at the police station. Why? What happened, babe?
right,
This motherfucker just raped me. Oh, I'm on my way.
right.
Where is he? I might make a pit stop. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, because if
Listen,
everybody is this is my issue with the whole Bill Cosby thing. Why 30 years later? Why did you let America and beyond hold him in such high regard, and then 30 years later, when the man is in his twilight years, now you want to fuck up the legacy that you let him have? You let him have this legacy, and now at the end of it, you want to crash it, bust it to all pieces for what? I'm not. I just don't get it. This man been raping women around Hollywood for X amount of decades, and we gonna let it go because of what? We gonna wait till he turns 70, 80, and then crash him. I'm still, the explanation is not registering for me. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know either. Sporty, what are your thoughts?
I just think, first of all, the statute of limitations for all of this shit is expired. So any court case whatsoever would be civil. There is no criminal charge that can be brought against him. So I think there's some truth to it. I just think it's embellished a bit. I think a few people who jumped on the bandwagon are lying, and and I think that it's just made more. As you would say, they've turned the proverbial molehill into a mountain.
So
well,
you think
anytime somebody is raped, it's not a proverbial mole into a mountain. What I believe is that there is something to it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I do believe that. However, I think that the people who are lying are now making it trivial. They're trivializing it for the people who actually were assaulted or taken advantage of. And I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chan. You had something you want to say. Chan? She changed her mind? Okay.
So. But
Speaking
also,
of wait. Speaking of sexual assault,
who you
Darren
messing with?
Sharper.
Oh,
Darren Sharper. You said, about who did I mess with? I'm gonna need for Bill Cosby to stop trying to buy major networks. When he tried last time, they killed his son. Let's just let that go. And I don't. That was that. I can't. I ain't gonna say it on the air, but I'll tell y'all in the production meeting what that was all about. But anyway,
you were
speaking of Darren
on.
Sharper.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of sexual assault, now any of y'all who knows who Darren Sharper is, if you have watched football over the past decade or so, and you are a female, you will ask the same question that I asked Chan. What the fuck? Like, why is Darren Sharper in the LA County jail still on charges over 4 different states, 8 different charges of sexual assault, drugging broads, and having sex with them? Now, you ain't got to take it. That dude is fine. You ain't got to take it. You ain't have to take it unless you get your jollies off of that kind of shit. But my question is, you going from if you did all of this in 1 year, like you went from LA to Vegas to New Orleans to, you know what I mean? You to Arizona to, you went all over in 1 year raping people. When did you decide to become a serial rapist? Or were you all along and nobody said anything? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And I have been around this cat so many times that I'm just like, Sharpie? Like, Sharpie? Because, as we call it, Sharpie. What? I don't get it. But I remember that because when I saw that shit, I literally fell out my chair like, no, not Darren Sharper. There's got to be a mistake. Somebody's lying.
Wrong. Right. Who lying now? That's exactly what I was going to say. Who's telling the story? Because this cannot be the truth, honey. Hmm.
It's crazy. It's
It is.
crazy.
You are correct.
It
And
is
then
crazy.
I know what I'm about to say is, 'cause I know rape has nothing to do with, the actual sex act is more about power or whatever.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I just don't get the fact. Why is you raping people? You fine. It's many women out there that's gonna give it to you. What you
And
feel
they'll
too good?
pretend
You
like you
raping
taking
the
it.
right? They'll play the role for you, boo. You ain't got to do
I
it.
don't know.
We can work it out. I just don't.
I
I don't get it.
I don't either. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But the more the details come in, it just don't look good for him. I mean, and here's my
Wow.
thing: you still in jail. You don't even have no bail, dude.
Nothing.
You in jail without no bail.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's what he
sorry.
said.
Yes, he is in jail without bail. It don't matter. You can get out. You can get out on bail in L.A., but they go extradite your ass to New Orleans. They go
Yep.
extradite your ass to Arizona. And while you fucking around raping people in Arizona, I do not know, one of the most racist states in the union, they gonna burn your ass, your black ass in effigy. I guarantee you, it wasn't no sister in Arizona that you drugged and raped. So they really
No.
gonna have your hide. So you better off hanging out in the LA County jail. But that's just fucking crazy to me. And he won't, he will not petition for a speedy trial motion. He won't do any of that. He just won't fucking go to court. Like, whatever, I'll just sit here. Which says to me, there's something going on in his head.
Mm. Or
Who
maybe
does that?
lack thereof.
Nothing
That's
going
just
on in his
too
head.
much.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah,
There is space, the final
yeah.
frontier
That
in that
that got
motherfucker.
me.
Wow.
That got me. I was just like blown. I always joke with people about the 6 degrees of separation and how my life isn't 6 degrees of separation. I have like 1.5 degree of separation. And it's really unnerving when something like that hits so close to your circle. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, literally, we introduced my girl to him. She had been saying for years she wanted to meet him and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We're in Hawaii. We're like, damn, we do. You know what I mean? I'm like, it would have been a whole nother story had she come back with another story. You know what I mean? It would have been like,
Right.
oh,
That's different.
this story would have broke a long time ago, but it would have
Girl.
had a different ending. He'd have never made it across the Pacific back to the mainland. They'd have found his ass in the volcano somewhere in Hawaii. Like, no, it was just crazy to me. I'm just like, wow, Sharpie went out like that.
Man.
And I know the big pink elephant in the room of 2004, Eric Garner,
Yeah, I was trying to say that.
Michael Brown,
Yeah.
the whole police brutality stuff, and it's just disheartening. It's very disheartening.
It is because it's
You,
going to.
you,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just saying because it's just bringing so much more to the forefront about the racism that we deal with in this country. But I also think that people use platforms like this for their own agendas where it has nothing to do with what's going on, you know. And people are so divided and split about, things that have happened. You have those that feel like he's partially responsible for his death and, for the other guy, not Eric Gardner. It's just so much is going on with it. And once you start peeling back all of these layers, you get more and more and more. I just don't see an end to it. And that's
Well,
the sad part.
here's the sad part about all of it is that at the end of the day, life is like a pendulum. It has to go to the furthest extreme on either side before it gets before it settles in the middle for balance, right?
Yeah.
So it has to get worse so they can swing to better and then settle in the middle for balance.
Mm-hmm.
So, as unfortunate is that these people had to die for this to happen, what it does is it opens a lot of eyes to people, and I would say pretty much our children's generation. Like I could say, like for Chan's daughter, her youngest, said something to me about, we had a conversation, and I think Chan had the conversation with her too about the N-word, and how racism doesn't exist, and she lets her little white friend say it, and they call each other that back and forth, and it's like, hold on now, you guys it's not like that anymore. Yeah, it is, but it kind of opens their eyes, that generation's eyes, to see that it's still there. It's not something we're making up. It really exists.
And it's not okay.
And it's not okay. And they're also learning that it's not just the older people who are the ones that are behaving in this way or believe the things that they believe or are racist. They're finding out that their peer group, are racist.
Oh, yeah.
So
there are some.
I think that it's important that the conversation happens. I think that the conversation needs to continue. I think that there needs to be more of a focused conversation and a focused, centralized solution to all of it. We talked about some of it on the show in 2014. We talked when we had our police brutality show, and when we had the show about the Michael Brown thing and all of that. And we talked about how people need to be more vigilant. People need to police the police. How is it that we don't know the police officers that patrol our own neighborhood? They patrol and regulate what's going on in your neighborhood and then go home to theirs. When it used to be a time that
they
from
lived
the
in your
that you
neighborhood.
policed.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it went, changing the mentality of them against us. They're the militia.
Yeah, and that's what causes so much division, because even the people that we have in our lives as friends and family that are military or police, and it's hard to deal with them, because my question has now become, you work with these people and for these people, and I think you're just as much the problem as the ones doing the crime, because you don't do anything to stop it. You don't tell your partner that's not good. And then again, I know you have a code to follow. It's like they're caught in the middle of, this is their job and what they have to do, and it could cause them problems versus, you're my family. Yeah, I love you, but I have to, if you see me, your family member getting fucked up by your fellow coworkers, what you gonna do? Are you gonna stand there and support what they're doing? Are you gonna stay out of it? What are you gonna do when it really reaches you personally as an officer?
Well, no action is just as bad as the action. You know what I mean? In these situations, not doing anything is just as bad as being a part of it.
Right.
And at some point, I do understand on one hand that, you saying something or doing something can potentially put your life at risk. I get that. However, there has to be a chain of command. And if there isn't some protocol set in motion for situations where there's a bad cop and there's a good cop and the good cop tells on the bad cop, how do you handle that? Then there needs to be one.
Mm-hmm. And I believe,
and you need to protect the identity of the person who was told. I'm sorry. Go ahead, number 3.
And there is, coming from, just working in that environment. I got a little cousin who just was, just went through the academy and is now on the road training. My little brother wants to be a cop. I come from a family of cops, and there is that chain of command. And I don't believe, just from recently working with them and the ones that I know that I'm close to, I don't think that, and if they were faced with it in their face, the ones that I know, I believe that they would stand up for, hey, you can't be doing that, that's not going to happen this way. But then again, on the flip side, most officers nowadays, they don't ride to a cop. Not in these little cities and counties here in Georgia. Maybe in the big city they still do, but in the ones that I'm close to, that I know, they don't ride to a car. It's one to a car. Just like, it was an incident, that I heard of in a small municipality where, an officer pulled a girl over and, raped her and then sent her on about her way. Didn't expect her to go to the hospital and report it, and he happened to be the one to show up when the hospital called it in. He wasn't expecting all that. But see, he was in the car by himself. They don't ride two to a car. It wasn't nobody to say, hey man, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? They by themselves when it starts. So then when you call in, go ahead.
Go ahead. Nope.
When you call in for, if you're in a situation, not that situation, but if the situation starts out and you by yourself and something happens and you end up shooting this person, when you call them for backup, then they only going by the story that you telling. They wasn't there when it happened. You see what I'm saying?
Which is why I think it's so important, the implementation and the finances that the president has put in place for these body cams. I think it's imperative that we have to police the police. We have to police each other, because at the end of the day, they're not robots. They're human beings. So they're flawed characters. You know what I mean? They're just as flawed as the people that they are policing. And so there has to be a system of checks and balances. And so if they were in that situation where this man was wearing a body cam and then his cam went dark for a certain period of time, then that you can't account for it. Lucy got some explaining to do. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that, now we're moving into that. If you're going to put these officers out here by themselves and they don't have an accountability partner, so to speak, now your accountability partner is Big Brother. And they're going to be strapped to you.
Exactly.
So mind your manners. Be on your P's and Q's.
Well, see, they rolled 3-4 to a car deep here because, we got pulled over going to the movies one day. We were riding through like 111th Street somewhere, and the police officer, there was in a detective car, they pulled us over. I'm like, well, what they pulling us over for? And the guy looks in the car and says, well, where are you going? And I said, well, we're on our way out for the evening. What's the problem? What's going on? Mm-hmm. And he says, well, why are your hands just sitting on top of the steering wheel? I said, because I don't know what you want from me. Why is the detective car pulling me over? What are you looking for? And he says, well, we're trying to figure out where the crime is in this area. Can you help us with that? I said, why would you think I would know where the crime is in this area? I don't even live in this area. Well, why are you over here? Driving through just like you are. You don't live over here and you here. He's like, well, ma'am, who is this gentleman you with? Then he's like, he's trying to silently call me a hoe. Do you know him? I'm like, excuse me? And so he said, can I see some ID? I said, I'm not taking my hands off this steering wheel. I don't feel safe. I need to know what you want with me and why. What you want? Well, we're looking for such and such, and, you don't fit the description, but maybe you might know this person. I don't live in this area. I don't know who you're talking about, and I would like to go on my merry way, get out of this neighborhood. And we got.
Well, here's the thing with that. You pull me over. You had no probable cause to pull me over. You say I don't fit the description of the person that you're looking at. So you wasting my fucking time and yours finding the people that you need to look for when you pull over. Exactly. It ain't got nothing to do with what you're looking for.
I was so upset.
Come on. Again, you impotent ones. It's the impotent ones, the ones with the little PPs. It's the ones who were bullied in school. It's always those that want to be super rent-a-cop, that want to take their job so fucking seriously, and they end up getting the good ones killed. Or they end up, you know what I'm saying? It's just that kind of thing. So I'm so happy that a lot of these areas are now starting to implement these cameras. And like I said, that the president has allotted for that funding for these officers to have to wear this equipment, because, you need to be held accountable. We don't trust you. And if you don't like the fact that we don't trust you, then you need to start speaking up on behalf of the ones who are not doing the right, because it's the bad ones that are making it hard for the good ones. And if it's more good ones than bad ones, then it really shouldn't be. It should not be that difficult for you guys to pluck them from the thorn. Pluck that thorn off the rose.
Exactly.
Because this is a case of the bad apple spoiling the bunch. It really is.
Agreed.
Another thing from 2014. Let's see here. One of y'all jump in anytime.
Well, we have another elephant in the room, and that elephant would be, and I want to know where the elephant went. It's not in the room. It used to be, but it's gone. Where the fuck Ebola go? What's up that bullshit?
It went back to Africa.
That's what it said. I'm just trying to figure out. Because, first it
It
was
went back to
an
Africa, girl.
epidemic. You got all this protocol coming in. You got to go. And now, you got gas masks and shit and suits at Home Depot and Lowe's. But now where's that? It's gone.
What I tell y'all, it's a distraction tactic, man. They was trying to take your eye off that whole ISIS shit and all this other fuckery that was going on. They didn't want you to see what they were slipping past you. They was trying to slip past you on the other end. It's some fuckery going on, man. Y'all gotta pay attention to what's going on. It's not what they're doing. You know what my mama always say? It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
And as a coach, I say to people that meta communication means a lot. So that we take a lot. 75% of what in communication is nonverbal.
Amen. It is.
So if 75% is nonverbal, guess what? It's the shit you ain't saying that I need to be concerned about. Like I said before, it's the bold print give it, the fine print take it away. It's not the shit that you putting up here like, that's not the shit I'm concerned about. It's the shit that's like here, like on them damn Cialis commercials. When they be like, yeah, you want to have this? You just take it in, pop it, take it, blah, blah. Then you can have sex life you want, but you can go blind, lose your blah, 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 lose your
right, all that stuff down there. Yeah.
And they say it's so damn fast. They say it's so fast and put it in the finest print that even if I did pause my DVR, put my reading glasses on, I still wouldn't be able to read that shit.
You ain't never lied. And then see you bringing up that damn ISIS. I ain't forgot that they cut them 2 American journalists' heads off and launching attacks in all these different countries. I'm paying attention. Girl, don't even start me on that ISIS foolishness. And the USA dipping in their business too, fighting back lines through.
I hate that. Why can't we mind our own damn business?
We can't. That's why the rest of the world don't like us, because we're
fucking bullies.
Yes.
We're bullies. We
in the disguise of Big Brother.
Yep. And, it's like we're the bully. We're the actual schoolyard bully. We sitting around watching shit, and we instigate shit, and then we stir the pot, and then we come in to try to pretend like we try to fix the shit. And I'm like, okay, we're the greatest democracy and this, that, and the other. My thing is, if we have free will, we have this democracy, and we have all this other shit, why do you feel that you are so superior to every other nation that you got to go in and try and impose your way of thinking and your culture on somebody else? If they want to kill each other up, let them fucking, they've been doing it for hundreds of years. Long before this motherfucker existed, they were over there fucking each other up. So apparently it works for them. If like Ron Paul Cattle or the what you watch on what channel? What's that you watch the Hatfields and McCoys? Them motherfuckers.
Yes.
Now you think I'm gonna go and tell them to stop fucking up? Leave each other alone. Call it truth. No, kill each other the fuck up. Do it as long as it don't fuck with me. Do what you gotta do. And like I said, they've been over there in the Middle East long before America was in existence, fucking each other up.
And now they bring that shit here.
Y'all know it.
They come out, we gotta go get our gas mask kit and all that other shit. That's all right. I'm ready. They can come on if they want to, but they need to leave them people over there the hell alone and stop fooling with them. Or they done something else.
Yes.
They preparing.
While you fucking around minding everybody else's business, your shit going to hell in a handbasket. I always say, stop watching somebody else's front yard. Watch your fucking front yard, and instead of trying to look over there and see how their grass is growing. Because while you over here, your shit is out of order over here. You all over here in the Middle East minding everybody out damn business. You all over here minding everybody out damn business. You done borrowed from China that they they basically own the United States, and our shit is fucked up.
Exactly, and then they turn right around and
it's kind of like being in a relationship. It's like being in a relationship. You love the motherfucker, but you don't like him. That's the way it is. I love it, but I don't like your ways. You got some ways about you that I just don't like. I don't like the fact that as an American, everybody wants to come over here and live the American dream, and we live in the fucking American nightmare. I don't understand how everybody else can come over here and they can excel and get all these things, but we got to be second-class citizens to motherfuckers who don't even belong to this damn country. We can't get half the damn benefits they get.
We take shit for granted over here because we're from here. They come over here and see it as a benefit and use it to their advantage. I can't fault them for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like we blow
Give
up.
me an example. Other than the fact that they'll take jobs that we won't take, they'll run the newsstand, they'll be the cab driver, they'll do the lawn, they'll do all of that stuff. Other than the shit, and I'm not saying that we are not spoiled elitists in a lot of ways. Even the ones that are worse off than anybody should be. You know, even the percentage that are the bottom feeders that they call, you know, the poverty below the poverty letters in a lot of ways, we're fucking elitists, right? Because you got a motherfucker that's homeless on the street. You'd rather be homeless on the street begging you got to change than to go ask for a job at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Or to, you know, yeah. So I get that, but what else? You know, think about it. They talk about getting rid of these entitlement programs. We ain't getting the benefit of the goddamn entitlement programs in the first place.
Well, no, we're not. They're trying to get rid of them so that we can't get in.
We're not getting them.
Or they're structured so that the people who come over here, can take advantage, but we can't.
Thank you. I can tell you one time I went to the I think y'all call it the aid office. I went to the aid office. I feel like I'm in good times in 1977. Talking about the aid office. Okay.
What is that?
I remember, and after I
you
said
talking about
the letter.
Okay.
I went to the aid office with a friend. Huh?
I was trying to figure out what's the aid office. You talking about their welfare program stuff?
Yeah, the aid office.
Okay,
so, I went with a friend of mine. She was going to get food stamps. She got kids, whatever, right? So she going to try to apply for some food stamps and some financial assistance or whatever. She's 2 steps from having the lights turned off and this, that, you know what I mean? It's just everything, you know, when it rains, it pours, right? And so she goes to get a little help. Now, mind you, she don't work her whole damn life. She done paid her taxes. She done, you know what I mean? All of this stuff. She goes there and they tell her, she got kids. I got it, Chan. She got kids, and they told her she could only get like $110 in food stamps, and that was just emergency. They can't guarantee her she'll get anything after that.
Wow.
And they weren't going to give her any cash. Now, there was a lady right next to her who was not a United States citizen. Did not have a green card, did not speak a lick of damn English. And I'm sitting here reading the form that she got that's in another language, not even in the fucking English. It's in the language that she speaks. And then it says something about if you don't have this, then you eligible for that. By the time they finished telling this lady that wasn't even from here, and she only had 1 kid, and she was married, she had over $700 in food stamps, and they gave her about $550 in cash a month.
What?
All because she was not from here, because she was an immigrant. I said, see, they lucky. They lucky I'm not the kind of person that would rob this bitch outside. That's just wrong. That's wrong. You have worked here. You have paid into the system. You have done all of that, because in California, they take money out for unemployment and stuff like that. They take that out of you. That's part of your tax, you know. So they take that shit out. So you done paid into it and you can't even get out of it. That's some bullshit. That's some absolute monkey ball bullshit. But it's time to do the letter.
Okie dokie.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead. What you say?
I said okie dokie.
All right, time for the letter.
Yeah.
All right.
At some point, you will be offended by something said on our show, but Playing Devil's Advocate is meant to be a forum for open, honest, and more importantly, judgment-free dialogue. The opinions expressed here may not necessarily be those of our hosts or the show in general, but we're willing to have the uncomfortable conversations so that we can heal and find solutions for our listeners and quite possibly ourselves. Enjoy the rest of the show.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All right, today's Ask PDA letter is being brought to you by our producer's Drink of the Week. If you have not had a chance to check out the wonderfulness known as the top 5 given by our producer, make sure you go to facebook.com/Playing Devil's Advocate and check it out. Try it out. It's New Year's Eve. Turn down for what? So let me go ahead and read this letter, and let me see what my people have to say about this. Dear PDA, I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years. We live together and have a 4-year-old child. Early on, while we were dating, we both agreed that we wanted to be married by the time that we were 35. Well, I'm 38, and here we are, 6 years and a child later, still not married. Last New Year's Eve, we made a resolution to get our stuff together and get engaged in 2014. Well, we've managed to get our finances in order and under control, but it's the end of the year and I have yet to be proposed to. I have never mentioned it since we made the resolution in an attempt not to nag him. So my question is, what should I do? Should I bring it up? Should I ask him? Or should I break up? Signed, Counting the Days. And I'm going to start with you, Sporty Angel. You can tell us what you think Counting the Days should do.
Well, there's a lot in that letter. And if you all made the agreement back then and there, and you didn't follow, clearly you waited 3 years after, and now all of a sudden you want to have the conversation. You were fine and comfortable, at that point, so you're still waiting. Men are not mind readers, and if it's on your mind to have a conversation about what you all discussed, then have the conversation. I wouldn't say marry me or else, or, if the relationship is good, why would you leave it? That doesn't make sense to me either. Talk to the man. I mean, you're communicating with us, communicate this to him.
All right, number 3.
Okay. Counting the days. Do you just want to be married so to be on paper? Because you're already doing married things. Y'all live together. You done got your finances together. I mean, you're doing married things. You just don't have the piece of paper. So my thing is, are you trying to make it legal is there a important reason why you need to make it legal right now? But if you all did have the conversation and you agreed to this and you want to get married and it hasn't happened, then I'll bring up the conversation again. It's not nagging. You waited 12 months. Y'all talked about it in the beginning of the year. It's the end of the year. Talk about it again. Nagging would be every other week you say something about it. So don't worry about the nagging part. But my thing is, because you're already 6 years, one more year, you're going to be common law.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
not necessarily. Yeah, if they don't live in a common law state, it doesn't matter. But I will agree with the ladies with the period point blank have the conversation. You sounding disgruntled. This is what you said. We agreed when we were dating early on that we both wanted to be married at 35. Well, I'm 38. It's 6 years later and a 4-year-old child later. He didn't twist your arm. He didn't make none of that happen against your will. You are a willing participant in your relationship. He's not the bad guy here. I know you're trying to say, he's dragging his feet and that he's not holding up his end of the bargain. But let's do some pros and cons here. You have a man who, one, hasn't married you. Okay, you could put that in the con list, I guess. He hasn't married you, but he lives with you. He takes care of you and your child. He understands the importance of making sure that you guys are financially stable. So he did what was necessary along with you to get y'all finances in order, right? I don't understand the disconnect. You say you ain't say nothing to him all year? That was really passive aggressive. Because you was sitting around talking, I'm going to see what he do. I ain't going to even say nothing. So you thinking you being a good girl by not nagging, you actually being an asshole by being passive aggressive. If there's something you want to know about your relationship, the only people who know the answer to that will be the people in your relationship. So you need to ask him. I'm not saying ask him to marry you. You need to ask him, what's the intent? Where are we going? Okay, it's 2014 going into 2015. We made this agreement at the end of 2013 that X, Y, and Z was going to happen. We knocked down that hurdle. Where are we going from here? And then once you get the answer from that thing, you can set a timetable. I say this. You've been waiting 6 years. What's the fucking hurry now? You've been with this dude for 6 years without a ring. You called in the beginning of the letter. You said he my boyfriend. You 38 years old, and you called him your boyfriend. Come on, really? Just have the conversation. I know that you didn't want to say nothing because you didn't want to. You talking about you didn't want to be a nag, but you didn't really want to hear the answer to the question. That's what it is, and you're writing us to give you a reason to do what it is that you already know that you need to do.
Exactly.
So there you go. All right.
Well, I got something I want to add to it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I say this. What's the name of the letter? Who's the letter writer again?
Counting
down
the
the
days.
days.
Okay, I say this to counting the days. Just start making wedding plans. Bet you get a conversation out of that then. Soon as you say, come on, honey, let's go and talk to the preacher and let's go ahead and do this. And as soon as you tell him that I'm going to go try on my wedding dress, as soon as you tell him that y'all about to make invitation, I bet you have a conversation then. You ain't got to worry about what's what at that point because you're going to know either one way or the other if he going to marry you at that point. Just go ahead and do it. Just don't even worry about it. Y'all already made the plan 6 years ago. So, now it's your fault. That part is your fault. Because you should have already had the invitations already printed up. That's your fault, counting the days. Just go ahead and do it. I bet a conversation gets sparked from there. There you go. That's what I had to say.
And that's
Amen.
why we don't let her talk very often.
I like her idea, though. That is
a
funny
good
as
idea.
hell. I love it.
That's an asshole idea, but it is funny. But
I
you will
would
get
do
the
that
you will
shit.
get the answer that you're looking for.
I mean, hey,
And
y'all
I
been.
don't. Go ahead.
Priceless.
I mean, I'm with her. Yeah, you didn't already talked about it. Just playing the wedding. Yeah, that's an excellent idea. I love it. Let's see what happens.
There it is. You got 4 opinions. But here's the thing. It all wraps around to the fact that if you want to get married, get married.
Right.
It might be to him. It might not be. But, at least, look, worst case scenario, if it don't work out, you got a beautiful kid and better credit.
Right. Exactly.
Right. You took care of some very important stuff. So I give you kudos for that. That's for damn sure.
Right. So I don't think he's a bad guy at all. I mean, you ain't said nothing about he's cheating or he's mean to me or he's none of that. I mean, all you got to say about this dude is that he ain't asked you to marry him yet in 6 years.
Right. He ain't proposed.
I wouldn't be leaving.
Yeah. Should I leave him? Yeah, leave him. And then as soon as you leave him, the next one he gonna marry you.
He gonna marry him.
You gonna be all in your feelings. You're going to be all in your feelings ready to slit your goddamn wrist because you primed him and you shined him up and made him nice husband material because you done lived with him for 6 years so he knows what it's like to cohabitate. You done got him all
right.
ready. You going to leave and bam.
You ask yourself,
he gonna wipe
that
up.
man. Be like, look, what you think about this color scheme for our wedding?
Show him a mock-up of the invitation.
Yeah, but like, I need your approval on these invitations before I go ahead. What invitations? To the wedding. We ain't set no date. I did. You said we was going to do it.
Right.
And we going to do it.
We talked about
We've been doing all this other stuff while we've been getting our credit and money together. I've been getting the wedding together. All right. Number 3. Give me some more. Just give me. I need 2 more before we got to get out of here because it's almost midnight.
Oh my God! Happy New Year coming. Yes.
Same-sex marriage. It had a big not resurgence, but a lot of states approved it this year.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because they know. It's political. It was a political move. Not that they believe it. It was political.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely. You know what I mean? If people want to be together, let them be together.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
It's more revenue for the damn state. You got now people are gonna be getting marriage licenses, which you got to pay for. You got people who gonna be paying for weddings, so now you got locations that they got to pay for to rent out. You got catering that needs to be done, so that's money into the economy. You got flowers that need to be bought, rings that need to be bought. You need makeup artists, hairdressers, seamstresses. All of this, you are funneling money into the economy by doing such things.
If they're not already, they're gonna be cohabitating, so they're gonna be buying them houses. So yeah, I'm with you. It's gonna bring a lot of money.
And especially since the Affordable Health Care Act is expanded to domestic partnerships, so you can put them on your insurance and everything. So why not? I don't understand. Why is it my business who you say I do to?
Right.
Why is it my business? Why does the state have to regulate every fucking thing? It's just some things we shouldn't even be wasting our time on. And I'm so glad that they're getting it right. You know what I mean? They're getting it right.
Exactly.
You know, the United States is on the verge of another fucking government shutdown. See, but they distracted y'all with all that other bullshit, all this fuckery. You know, they had midnight sessions to extend the budget talks so that we didn't go into a shutdown 2 weeks ago. So, you know, yeah, I think it's important that, you know, you focus on some other shit. Our producer said even, you know, the Congress struck down the whole marijuana thing in D.C. Okay. Oh, speaking of that, Mary died.
He did.
This year. It's
did
2014.
Yep.
And they referred to him as the crack mayor. Really? Really?
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do? I think that is so disrespectful. So disrespectful. But yeah,
No
I'm like,
respect.
yo, wait a minute. This is coming from this, but if you put it in perspective, they vote to have marijuana legal, then the politicians get in it, and then they want to strike it down. But this all comes from the city where most of y'all are cokeheads anyway. Second of all, you had the crack mayor who managed to run your city, and y'all were doing well financially, budgetary, blah, 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 blah. And he was on crack, got out of office, went to rehab, ran for city council, got reelected, and then got reelected again. So apparently he was good at something, because who gonna keep electing a fucking crackhead?
Clearly, fellow crackhead.
So I think it's disrespectful for them to refer to him as the crack mayor in his death.
I agree.
That's just disrespectful. And I think it's disrespectful for them to just totally say, fuck what y'all voted on. We don't give a shit about what y'all think. We gonna strike this shit down. And I think all these people need to remember this shit when it comes time for election again. Like, oh, fuck me and fuck my vote. All right, fuck you and fuck your running.
Thank you.
Right. Right.
Well, KiKi, I have one more thing that I remember vividly about 2014.
I wish I knew what you said.
I said I have one more thing that I vividly remember about 2014. And that is Dino and Andre calling of JJ Chitlin.
Yeah.
That was too much for me. I just, you know.
That entire sex series was something to remember. So, you know, the surprise of Lexington Steele coming on the show, that in and of itself was interesting. So, I wow.
What was Chan's favorite quote? What did she say? Why she wouldn't sleep with him? What was your famous quote, Chan?
She said the ghost of Pussy Pants would haunt her.
Yes, yes. That is priceless. Oh my God, I love Cousin Chan.
That's what she said. And on that note, guys, thank y'all so much for another great year here at Playing Devil's Advocate. Without you guys, and I mean you, the crew, the cast, the crew, the listeners, the viewers, without any of you, none of this would be possible for us to have yet another year to review with you guys. And so we look forward to 2015. We have some hot stuff coming up. We actually talked about a couple of things that we're going to talk about, our fucking bucket list. We talked about the depression and the mental illness. We actually have a lot of special guests lined up coming in 2015. So I'm just excited for what we have coming forward. So I'm happy that you guys have chosen to be a part of it.
Yes, I have a poem toast for you.
Okay.
So, as I lift my glass and we end this new year, I would say roses are red, violets are blue. out with 2014, 2015. We are so ready for you.
Amen.
Amen. Clink, clink.
Clink, clink. Clinking.
All right, guys. It is almost the new year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Oh my God, it's so exciting.
How much time, how many seconds we got left, producer? Where'd she go? She probably off drinking already.
She probably still drinking. So.
She's still drinking.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we're going to do our own countdown right now.
Yes.
Y'all ready?
Ready.
All right.
Wait, before you do your own countdown, you got about 15, 20 more seconds.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay,
So,
well,
okay, since we got, just tell me at 5 seconds where I'm going. And then, so, yeah, we got about 10 seconds now. So, I'm so excited. 2015, you guys are going to have some fun with us. All right, I hope she got some music for us to play or whatever, some Old Lang Syne or something. So, how many seconds we got? Come on. I'm ready.
Really?
Start your countdown now.
5, 4, 3,
3,
2, 1.